Imagine drilling a 64-kilometer passage beneath the Alps, not for gold or treasure, but simply to get trains moving faster and trucks off the road. That is exactly what Europe is doing with the Brenner Base Tunnel, one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects in modern history. With a price tag of around 11 billion euros and an expected opening in 2032, this megatunnel is set to become the world's longest underground railway connection. Supporters see it as a vital step towards sustainable transport, while critics wonder if it will end up being a spectacularly expensive hole in the mountains. A historic pass with modern problems. The Brenner Pass, which links Austria and Italy, has been a vital north-south crossing for centuries. Roman legions marched across it, medieval merchants hauled their goods through it, and today it serves as one of Europe's busiest transit corridors. At 1,370 meters above sea level, it is the lowest alpine crossing, but even so, its terrain and climate have always been tricky. By the late 20th century, the situation had become overwhelming. More than 2.5 million heavy trucks were using the corridor every year, producing congestion, pollution, and stress on the already outdated infrastructure. The railway that existed struggled with steep gradients and tight curves, leaving it unable to compete with road transport. This corridor forms part of the European Union's Scandinavia-Mediterranean transport network, which stretches from Finland to Malta. As such, its smooth operation is essential for trade, tourism, and labor mobility across the continent. But the old system was bursting at the seams. For Austria, Italy, and the European Union, the solution was not to patch up what existed, but to rethink the entire system. The answer was the Brenner Base Tunnel, a project designed to create a flat, high-capacity, high-speed railway directly under the Alps. The tunnel and its design. The Brenner Base Tunnel is not just a hole in the ground, it is a masterpiece of modern engineering. Stretching 64 kilometers, including a bypass at Innsbruck, it consists of two single-track tubes running parallel to each other and spaced 70 meters apart. Cross passages every 333 meters provide safety exits and maintenance access, while an exploratory tunnel, 12 meters below, doubles as a drainage and emergency system. Designed to handle passenger trains at speeds up to 250 kilometers per hour and freight trains at 160, the tunnel will dramatically cut travel times and increase rail efficiency across the Alps. When complete, it will dethrone Switzerland's Gotthard Base Tunnel as the world's longest underground railway. More importantly, it will bypass the steep gradients of current alpine lines, offering a direct, flat route that promises both faster travel for passengers and smoother logistics for freight. It is a project that not only solves congestion, but also fits into Europe's broader goals of sustainability and climate responsibility by shifting transport from road to rail, engineering the impossible. Turning the design into reality has been an extraordinary challenge. Construction began in the early 2000s with the excavation of an exploratory tunnel. This allowed engineers to assess the complex alpine geology, which is riddled with fractured rock, fault zones, and areas of high water pressure. With this knowledge, they developed excavation strategies that would prevent collapses and manage groundwater effectively. Once the surveys were complete, full-scale construction began. Engineers used a hybrid approach, tunnel boring machines in stable rock zones, and drill and blast methods in unpredictable sections. One of the most challenging parts was the Asarco River crossing near Fortezza, where they used ground freezing techniques to stabilize the riverbed before digging. At some points, tunneling occurred more than 1,300 meters below the surface, where the combination of rock pressure and geothermal heat required reinforced linings and specialized ventilation. By mid-2025, almost 90% of the excavation had been completed. The goal is to finish digging by 2028, after which track installation, system integration, and rigorous safety tests will take place. If all goes to plan, the tunnel will be fully operational by 2032, though given the history of large projects, many are keeping their fingers crossed that deadlines hold. Who picks up the bill? A tunnel of this scale does not come cheap. The total cost is estimated at around 11 billion euros, shared between the European Union, Austria, and Italy. The EU has provided significant funding through its Connecting Europe facility, viewing the tunnel as a central piece of its integrated transport network. Austria and Italy split the remainder equally through their national infrastructure agencies. Oversight comes from BBTSE, a jointly owned European public company responsible for ensuring coordination, transparency, and accountability. Still, cost overruns and delays have sparked questions. Critics warn that the final bill could swell well beyond current estimates, and with such high stakes, the pressure on project managers to deliver is immense. Yet for supporters, the tunnel's benefits justify the price, not just in terms of mobility, but also in environmental gains and economic growth. Protests, skepticism, and environmental concerns. As with any mega project, not everyone is thrilled. Environmental groups and local communities have raised concerns about the tunnel's impact on fragile alpine ecosystems. Issues such as groundwater disruption, disposal of excavated material, noise, and vibrations have become flashpoints for protests. Residents near construction sites complain of disruption to daily life and fear long-term consequences that might not be visible yet. Critics also point out that building the tunnel has a large carbon footprint. They argue that the emissions created during construction may take decades to offset, casting doubt on its climate credentials. Others suggest that instead of building an entirely new tunnel, upgrading existing rail infrastructure might have been cheaper and less invasive. Transparency issues, shifting timelines, and the inevitable political wrangling have also attracted criticism, though no major legal barriers have stopped progress so far. What the tunnel promises. Despite these challenges, the potential benefits are substantial. The tunnel is expected to more than double daily train capacity across the Alps, from the current 260 to nearly 660 trains. This increase would divert over 1 million trucks each year from alpine roads to rail, significantly reducing traffic congestion, carbon emissions, and noise pollution. Travel time between Innsbruck and Fortezza will fall from 105 minutes to just 35, making cross-border trips faster and more convenient. The environmental gains are particularly striking. With fewer trucks grinding up mountain passes, air quality should improve, noise levels should drop, and alpine valleys will enjoy some relief from constant traffic. Economically, the tunnel will strengthen trade and labor mobility between Austria and Italy, boost tourism, and create thousands of jobs during and after construction. For the European Union, it is also a symbolic project, showing how cross-border cooperation can deliver transformative results. Looking to the future. As of now, the tunnel is edging closer to reality, but its success will depend on more than engineering. The crucial feeder links in Germany, which will connect the tunnel to the wider Scandinavian Mediterranean corridor, must be completed in time to ensure the tunnel does not become an isolated marvel. Political cooperation, financial discipline, and continued public support will all be needed if the tunnel is to fulfill its potential. If everything aligns, the Brenner Base Tunnel could redefine mobility across Europe. It will make the Alps less of a barrier and more of a gateway, setting a new standard for sustainable high-speed transport. But if delays mount and costs spiral, it could instead be remembered as a financial misstep carved into the mountains. And that's the incredible story of the Brenner Base Tunnel, a project that might just change the way Europe moves forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Europe's biggest mega projects, don't forget to hit that like and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll uncover another project proving that when humans set their minds to it, even the Alps aren't too tall to conquer.